Hi, friends. Welcome to Soaring Through Chaos. And every time we do this, because we are in it all together, we're going through some of the most interesting times of our lives, the pandemic, which affects practically everybody in some way or another. And along with the fear of disease, fear of even death, and there are also the fears of job loss, loss of livelihood, and the divisiveness that has come with it, the us versus them in many cases. And there are a few rays of light that I find in my own life. So those are the people I'm having a conversation with. One of them is my friend Manjeet Khurana. Manjeet is a delight to be with. I first met him on the terrace of a building as I was meeting one of my mentors in India, Nipun Mehta from San Francisco, who started the Awaken Circles. So, Manjeet, tell us a little bit about you. How did you end up at the Awaken Circles and what brought you there multiple times?
Uh, Thank you, first of all, Shankar, to invite me for this lovely chat. And you have always been, you are like a super connector, like there are superconductors. You are the super connector and super inspiring too. And the work that you are doing in dance movement therapy, in workshops, and especially this videos, I think people like you are such an inspiration.
Well, but we
It's
want to
always a
hear about
pleasure.
you. We want to hear about Manjeet as well.
It's always a pleasure chatting with you, Shankar. And you uh, I'm I don't know where to start. Um, I think if I have to sum up my journey in just one sentence, I would say that I'm grateful.
Hmm.
Grateful to have received so much from my parents, from teachers, from friends, siblings, colleagues, bosses, from each one of them. And we have received so much from nature, air, sun, plants, the earth. So, in one sentence, if I have to sum up, I'm grateful. Um, if I break it up uh, from my birth, the childhood, and the schooling, I think I was very fortunate to be born to such lovely parents who took great care and raised me with great love. I think they are the ones who should be, uh, who had the most influence on me. The best thing about them was they gave me time. In the childhood, if a child gets time, the love, because they say that the majority of the person is is done till he's 7 years. After that, there is an incremental uh, changes happening, but the core of the person is built in his childhood. And I think my parents should get a lot of credit for raising me through a lot of love. Um, I was uh, I studied in Kendriya Vidyalayas, which again is a great institution. Along with studies, sports, and extracurricular activities, it is an institute where your whole personality is molded. So you get an overall holistic growth. And I think I'm so thankful for the school and the teachers that I got. My siblings, my two sisters, they too played a great part in whatever I am today. Another influence on me during childhood was I was born in a Sikh religion. So we used to go to Gurudwara. Uh, I remember in childhood, my motivation to go to Gurudwara was to get Kada Prasad. Uh, it was so tasty. I used to be ready up early in the morning on Sundays because I knew once I am uh, done with the kirtan and all, I am going to get Kada Prasad. But these small little sweet things, they actually indirectly make you learn so many things. Like the langar in Sikh religion, uh, langar is such a beautiful service, and I saw that in my early childhood, and it has played a very great part in serving selflessly. I remember an incident when बचपन में होता है कि we parents ask you what you will become when you will बड़े होके क्या बनोगे so I remember an incident where we were going to the Gurudwara. We were walking towards the Gurudwara and we were slightly uh, away from it. And me and my mom and my dad and my sister. And my dad asked me, क्या बनोगे बड़े होके क्या बनोगे? And I remember, and my parents make me remember it many times, that I said कि मैं बड़ा होके महान बनूंगा.
So that
I
would
didn't
be in
say
Hindi.
doctor.
I'll become
Yeah.
famous.
No, no, I will become great.
Great, great.
Great. Yeah. So generally we say I will become a doctor or a pilot or a teacher or something. But I said मैं महान बनूंगा. So I will become great. And I laugh at that thought now and see, बस मैं इंसान बन जाऊं वही बहुत है. I also remember this poem that I wrote. It was my first poem, and I don't remember the lines exactly, but the heart of it was कि I want to be like Gandhi. I want to change the world. And now I laugh on it and say, at least if I can change myself, that would be enough. So these are some of the thoughts that come to my mind when I think of my childhood. Of course, there was a lot of events in school, friends, leg pulling, a lot of naughty things that we did. Yeah, I was good at studies also. I was good at sports, extracurricular activities. Thankfully, you know, our parents, when we are growing up, we in our middle class values and upbringing is that you should have a very good, strong study background because in future we are looking for a job. So your education has to be very good. That is the crux of the middle class upbringing. And my parents wanted the best for me, so they always motivated me to come first in the class and um, always motivated to me to work hard to get success. So I was from the childhood itself. I was kind of motivated to be um, be the best in whatever I'm doing. So I don't know. Later on, the thinking changed, but my initial years were like that. So the
So,
college happened.
yeah,
Yeah,
continue, continue.
going. Yes, no problem. You ask. This was
So,
about school and also.
after all this, how do you end up at an awakened circle sitting quietly for an hour a day?
Yeah,
that
that's why.
I'm very
That's
curious.
why. True.
Yeah, please
No, that's
continue
why
the
I was.
journey.
Yeah, so that's why I was telling college. College is something which is a life-changing event in a person's life. And first time you go out of your family, you stay alone, Of course, sometimes with your friends and all, but your family influence is not there for the first time in your life. And it's the first time when you start thinking independently for a lot of things, because when you are at home and at school, a lot of decisions are being made for you, a lot of things are being supported. But when you are in college, you are left alone. You have to fight for everything. Not fight, I mean, you have to get everything on your own. You have to take independent decisions. You have to think on your feet. So that is one wonderful time in each person's life. I think it's a different kind of learning you have in college, because till that you're protected. You're protected by your family, your schools, your all the factors are protecting you. In the college, you get wings, you fly, you read a lot of things, you read about different cultures. I started reading about different religions. I started about reading about different authors. um, you meet a lot of new people who are coming from different backgrounds. So there somewhere, um, the definition of success kind of you know turn towards happiness. I mean, I looked when I was in school to be the best in everything. From there, my thinking started to go towards to be happy in everywhere, to be happy in everything. So that shift happened in the college time. I read Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read Wayne Dyer. One of the lines I remember from Wayne Dyer's book was, uh, you can count how many seeds are there in the apple, but can you count how many apples are there in a seed? And that line has a tremendous influence on me. That each seed carries so much. I read The Fountainhead from Ayn Rand. I read Kalam. I read Robin Sharma. I read J. Krishnamurti. And all these influences from different people, cultures, backgrounds, and all that changed my definition of success, from success alone to happiness. I coined a term for myself. I remember I coined it such happiness, where such SUC is for success, and happiness. So success with happiness, such happiness. So that is the kind of thing I started looking for, where success is not success is secondary, happiness is primary kind, or success is not alone without happiness. So that shift happened in college, and from there I went to my work life. I was selected in campus, so I started working, and then in work life, lot of other influences started coming. You start earning money, and that another phase of learning started, because in college you come out of protection of your family, and then when you go to your job you start earning money. But then there is another factor that comes in your life, how to handle money, how to and that is another great learning. How much money you need, how much money you need. uh, there is a race going on for more and more you know money or promotion or growth, or so that another thing started, and I started looking at success and happiness in another way. And slowly my shift from success to happiness was kind of complete. All my factors or decisions were made on, am I happy in doing this? Whether or not I will get success is there in the back of my mind, but primary is, would I be happy? So all my decisions started happening that way. And then, as you said, awaken, yes, one of the, I think it was Aparna, she was a colleague, and she said once, she newly joined my organization, which where I was working, and she joined on 25th of February or so, and she shared with me about this awaken circle happening in every city and all. And she shared that it happens every Wednesday. I said, when it's next happening? She said it's happening on March 6th. I am talking about the year 2013, Shankar. And I said, I will come. And Aparna and me were supposed to go on my first awaken circle. And on the morning of Wednesday, March the 6th, 2013, Aparna said that, no, I have some other appointment, some other schedule, some other work. So you go ahead. I said, okay. And she gave me the address, and I landed at the Pandya sisters' place. And my journey started, and another journey of learning, and I'm so grateful for that journey. I met so many people, including you, Nipun Bhai, Jayesh Bhai, Pandya sisters, Trilok Bhai. Names are endless. I don't know how many I will. Siddharth, um, who else? So many people. I mean, so, and so much I've learned from these people, from you, from all the inspiring people that I met in this Awaken Circle, the service space community, Guri, Moved by Love, Madhubai. So many people. I mean, and the great thing is, the day I started attending Awaken Circles, from then on to now, I have never felt ill on Wednesdays.
You have never felt what?
I've never felt ill on Wednesdays.
Wow. Wow.
I never miss Wednesdays. Except for my job commitments or my work commitments, and if I am outstation. Otherwise, if I am in Baroda and it's a Wednesday, I would be at Awaken.
And
So
let's talk a little bit about what the Awaken Circle is. What brings you to Awaken Circle? What does it mean to you? And it was started in San Francisco by a common friend of ours. We got to know him through the Awaken Circle. Nipun Mehta, his wife Guri, and two others started initially as Wednesdays of service space. In those days, it was called Charity Focus. And all we do is sit together for an hour, and then we share a conversation on a topic of common interest to do with consciousness, awareness, anything that's happening, small acts of kindness, and then we have a meal together in silence, and that's it. Then sometimes we sit together and do small acts like maybe sending these happy cards around the world. Any act that brings us back to ourselves and shares in the community. What else? How else would you describe an awaken circle? And it's spelled with AWAKIN, awaken, and you'll find it on Google and elsewhere. But really, no agenda. It's completely done for free. The hosts do it out of love. How else would you describe it, and what has your experience been?
where do I start? I will start with the start. I remember the first day I went to Awaken. I distinctly remember. Um, I sat for 1 hour, and after that, the sharing happened, and then I was talking to Jignasha afterwards that my office finishes at 7, so would I be able to come here at 7:15 or 7:30, because it will take around 15 minutes to 30 minutes to reach here. And if I am 5-10 minutes late in the office, then probably I will reach at 7:40. So is it okay? And she said yes. And I'm so grateful for that, because uh, I would have loved to come early, but uh, work comes first. And so I started attending. And I distinctly remember one more thing. When I was coming back from Awaken, what I felt good was it actually gelled completely with what I used to think. Um, there was no guru, there was no teaching, there was no gyan, there was no, everything was with yourself. It was your own journey. It was not a religion, it was not a guru, it was not a message that was given to us. It it completely matched with my philosophy of learning through life, learning yourself, going inside, changing ourselves to see the change outside. It all was so um completely in sync with what I used to think. And I just felt happy that I found a group of people doing the same thing that I think was right, and I think was giving me happiness. And it was so um, relief that finally I found a group where I am on the same wavelength with the kind of people, the kind of uh, energy, the kind of thought. And that's how my love with Awaken continued, and it has continued till date. I try to be there in Wednesdays. And moreover, if I look at my journeys after Awaken, it has brought a lot of, you know, it has concretized my lot of thinking that I used to think or doubt whether this is the way or this is the way. But after Awaken, it has effortlessly going towards a direction that is in sync with myself. And I'm I'm really grateful to be a part of this community. It has effortlessly changed me. I don't even know, but it has. That's how I look at it.
And listening to you is so calming. Sometimes we try to cram all our life in 30 minutes. You're just allowing it to flow, which I really like. So I heard an interesting story that now when I put chronology back into its place, looks like it happened when you started with the Awaken Circle. That you got active on Twitter and then something happened. Can you tell us about that? What happened, the Twitter story? Maybe somebody from Twitter is listening. I should forward it to them.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it, and I started Twitter, I think, before Awaken. I started Twitter in around 2012, 2012 probably, yeah. 2012 January, and Awaken started 2013 March. So kind of it precedes Awaken, but Twitter, Twitter has been very lucky for me. Uh, I got married and then divorced in my first marriage, and it was a great learning. It was an arranged marriage, and uh, my wife was very sweet. She had a little mental issue, which I got to know after marriage. She was suffering from schizophrenia, and um, I told her that I'm to be with you for the rest of my life, whatever it is. But somehow her state worsened, and she came to a point where she started saying that I want to do suicide. And me being a positive person, always looking at solutions, always trying to, find a way out, asked her to, or tried my best to make her understand. But since she was suffering, she probably could not understand, and we had to part ways. Mutually, we separated. But this period, 3 4 years, it it made me learn a lot. Um, it developed patience, perseverance, a lot of things in me. And after that separation, I was, kind of wanting to put myself into work, doing different things with my community. And I never thought of a second marriage. I was immersed in work and community. And then this Twitter thing happened, as you said, and I was on Twitter tweeting every day, whatever came to my mind. And one thing led to another. One of my tweet was liked and retweeted by my friend. And Monica, who was in the friend list of my friend, she read the tweet because of the retweet and she liked it. Now I have this strange, some people say strange, for me it's very normal, of saying thank you to everyone who likes my tweet or retweets or what. So I said thanks to Monica on tweet, and she replied, no, it's very nice. And I said, it's beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So you are nice, so you're looking at it as nice. And she said, beauty is in the heart of the beholder. I said, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And she says, beauty is in the heart of the beholder. And this line just, you know, made me think, wow, wow. And then we started talking, and one thing led to another. And she proposed me after some time, and I shared with her that, I am married and I'm divorced. And she said, fine, it's okay with me. I said, there is an age difference between us. She said, that's fine with me. And whatever, I tried to make her understand that don't marry this person. He's not easy to be with. But she said no. And, love entered my life.
And this was all on Twitter. You had not
This
met
was
in
all on
person,
Twitter. We never met. We never met before marriage.
but you heard each
All on
other
Twitter.
by phone
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. From Twitter, we graduated to phones. So we used to talk on phone, and we used to talk on the direct messenger of Twitter and on phone. So these were the two ways where we kept knowing each other, but we never saw each other. We never met. She was in Bikaner, I was in Baroda. We never met. And when when everything was fine, she just came from Bikaner to Baroda, and we got married. So people uh, marriage at first sight. People have love at first sight, and we had marriage at first sight.
Uh,
So so that was that was how love entered my life, you know, from, you know, that journey from that started from success, it went to happiness, and then from happiness it went to love. So I sometimes joke about this, that sometimes people ask what have you done or what have you studied. So I say I graduated in success, I post graduated in happiness, and I'm now doing PhD in love.
So we'll have to call you love doctor in that case.
I, I don't know. I mean, it love entered in my life like very silently, very effortlessly. Like when happiness entered my life, and you know, it shake the pillars of success, love didn't do that kind of. It entered very slowly, very effortlessly. I never got to know that it has entered, and it has slowly, completely encapsulated my life. So from success to happiness, I've gone one step ahead to love. I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful.
And
I think Monica should, yeah,
yeah, please go ahead.
Monica should, Monica should get a lot of credit for this, to bring this in my life.
And somehow I remember I met you, of course, at the Awaken Circle. And the next time, or maybe the next real time when we interfaced, was you had a birthday party. And somehow the invitation came to me that there was going to be like a day long birthday party. And I was like, wow, I'm alone here in Baroda, don't have too many friends. I like the idea of a day long birthday party where it wasn't like any drunken party and all, that's not allowed here. But just sitting together, sharing. Somebody was going to do a drama therapy, or what is it, theater.
Acting workshop, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like, why not just go there? And I showed up. Somebody else gave me a ride. Chitra gave me a ride, and it was wonderful. And then I found out about this group called What's Happening in Baroda, where we are now, Baroda, Gujarat, which is not far from the place Ahmedabad, Sabarmati, where we've gone for many retreats, where Mahatma Gandhi came back to India to start serving. So that's kind of the influence, and Vinoba Bhave, the whole Mood by Love journey. So tell us a little bit about WhatsApp. What I like about it, the hundreds of thousands of WhatsApp groups. I have been a part of hundreds, but I get bored and I leave because of the spam. And you control all that spam through love, very gently. Reminders, very gentle reminders. We won't talk about politics here. We won't talk about, you know, anything that's divisive. So tell me a little bit about this. How do you make people How do you bring people together through love, even if there's anger, upset in their mind or in your mind?
Um, I think I'm so grateful for this, that this group, this community has evolved so effortlessly. I never planned for this. Like love, it just entered. This group, this community has also evolved slowly, effortlessly, beautifully, with love. And you know, it was never intended to be like this. It just started as a uh, I remember how it started. It was my birthday, and not the birthday you came, prior to that. um, and I had this urge to, you know, celebrate it with friends, and I put it on Facebook. I made a post. Okay, everyone's invited. This is the time. This is the place. Please come. We'll meet in the evening after office, and then we will have a good time. And my friends, some of them, landed up, and we had a gala time for an hour or two, having music, fun, songs, you know, everybody eating cake, everything that happens in a birthday, plus a lot of enjoyment by the friends. And my friends, each one of them, when they left, they said this should continue. This should not be one time. and I was wondering whether I can have a birthday party every week. So I said, okay, let's do something. Let's plan something else after next week. So one of my friends suggested, let's have a movie together. I said, okay, let's plan a movie. So in fact, he only suggested that make a WhatsApp group where you can put that this is a movie that we propose to go together, and you just put there so everybody will get it. Technology. So, and I made that group, WhatsApp group, and I named it Joy initially, and 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 I invited every one of them for a movie, and we all went to a movie and saw it together. So it slowly became a group where we used to go together, we used to have fun, we used to learn a lot of things. We started going to dramas, plays, events, workshops. So we started going together to these things, and this group evolved, and we started posting events that are happening in Baroda. And suddenly I thought that let's name it what's happening. Later on, I realized that not only it's what's happening, but it's what's happiness. So WhatsApp has been a journey from what's happening to what's happiness. And WhatsApp, you put just an H in WhatsApp, it becomes WhatsApp. And in this journey, I have evolved. I've learned from all the group members that I have, all of them beautiful from different fields, different walk of life. And everybody contributes. All my learnings over a period of time, I started sharing, and all the sharings that people share in the group, I started learning from them. So it became a very wonderful group based on the principles of love. So when the principle is love, then one of the most important principle that we hold in the group is we do not talk negative about anyone or anything. So if you have to talk anything or anyone, it has to be positive. We also see that it's about an inner journey by posting events that are uh, that are for the growth of the person in the group. So we share events that are happening in Baroda. Now, in fact, because of Corona, a lot of events are happening online. So we share the online events also. We also share whatever we are organizing. Like, for example, we started having these love circles when we felt a need for sharing between group members. We started love circles, and these love circles are like we start with a little bit of meditation. We share a little, and then we have some snacks. And it's not that we only have it at one place. We have it at different places. Like the last one you attended, we had it at Sevasi, and we saw a beautiful heritage structure also. We did meditation, we did sharing, and we had tea and snacks also. And then we had this riverside uh, little excursion also. So all in all, another thing that we do in the group is we help each other. Anyone needing anything can post in the group, whether it's a technological issue or a doctor issue or a legal issue or even a minor issue of broadband or whatever. I mean, any help that anybody need. I remember there was once a need of plasma, and one of the group member posted it in the group, and I remember 5 6 of us group member reaching the hospital and trying to help her out. uh, I remember once there was a need of blood somewhere, and a lot of people from our group, went there and donated blood and helped the person. From that to, some of the group members helped animals, some do acting workshops. During this corona times also, lot of activities were planned by the group members for uplifting and motivating each other and the community. And all this, as you said, without talking about politics, religion, anything which is divisive, all this, keeps the energy in the group so positive and loving that everybody loves to be a part of this group. And I am just so happy to have such lovely members together, growing with love. So that has been journey. That has been a journey of WhatsApp, and it's evolving. I hope it, it evolves more and more. Yeah.
So, Manjeet, I mean, it's such a wonderful thing that we have so many resources at our disposal here, right here, locally in Baroda. And at the same time, we have to appreciate that everybody, including us, are going through some of the most challenging times as a collective. Do you have any suggestions on how people can create joy in their lives? And especially during these difficult times, do you have any suggestions on how people can find meaning? The gifts, not just the curse, but the gift that this time is providing?
Um, First of all, I think we should pray for people who are fighting at the forefront. We are blessed and lucky that we are safe and fine at our home. And we pray for those people who are corona positive or who are serving them, the doctors, the nurses, or the police people, or the administration people, all the people who are, serving against this fight. We should all pray for them and hope that the vaccine comes sooner and people get relieved and everything is fine. Beyond that, uh, I think the one thing that this COVID times have reinforced is that we are all connected. Beyond any doubt, it has reinforced that we are connected. We are one. Even we are physically apart, but we are connected. So which is a very beautiful thing. If this message of being one, being connected, is felt by everyone and is amplified, so many beautiful things can be done. So out of this pandemic also, out of this disruption also, if this message of oneness, this message of connectedness is amplified, is reinforced, I think that is the most beautiful gift we can give out of this pandemic to each one of us, to all of us. And as you said, we have to adapt to change. Everyone, including teachers, for example, they started doing online education. Everybody is adapting to change now. And I think this is another gift that Corona has given us this, ability, or given us this strength to think beyond just the present, but always be ready for whatever the change is coming. I remember, we hear this that uh, whatever happens happens for the good, and we happens we hear this generally when the thing or the event has happened. It's like a post-mortem. The event has happened, and then you understand that whatever happens for the good. We don't think the same thing when it is happening, especially when it's difficult and traumatic. We think we are gone. We think that this is the end of the world. We think that it's very difficult. How, how why this is happening to me? So these are the thoughts when the event is happening. If the same thought that you have after the event, that whatever happens for the good, if you change it slightly to say that whatever is happening for the good, because anyway after the event you are going to say that. So can you say that while the event is happening? If you say that whatever is happening for the good, it will give immense energy to fight at the time of the event. And taking it one step further, if we can say that whatever happens will happen for the good, then it's like you are then ready. You in fact says that let the problems come, because you know when the problems will come, you will grow. Because the challenges will come, you will find a solution. When you find a solution, you will grow yourself as a person. You know, वो आग में तब कहीं सोना बनता है, तो वैसे ही, you know, when the problems come and you fight through it, and then you grow and then you become gold. So you start welcoming problems and you say whatever will happen for the good. So let the problem come. Problem, please come, because when the problem will come, I will find a solution. And when I will find a solution, I will grow. So if that thought can be amplified through these times, I think we all will, you know, grow together out of this. That is what are my thoughts.
Well, thank you again. You're talking like an alchemist. From base metal, the gold will come out. And reminds me of Paulo Coelho. So glad that we talked about many different things. Is there anything that's left out? Is there anything you want to say before we close to share with people?
I said at the start that if I have to sum up my life in one sentence, I would say I'm grateful. Similarly, if I have to say something at the end, uh, I think one thing that I would like to say is uh, about love. I think love is the foundation of anything that we want to do. If you look through the prism of love, then you don't judge a person. And when you look through the prism of love, whatever is happening turns into happiness. So that journey from what's happening to what's happiness is passed through the bridge of love. And we can create a beautiful life worth living every moment if we practice love. If you if you love your work, you can make an excellent career. If you love your friends, you can make an excellent community. If you I think I would put it this way: if love is the input, happiness is the output.
Wow.
You know, so that if if I have to end this conversation, and if I want a line to go out to sum up everything, it would be this: that if love is the input, happiness is the output. So let's practice love in whatever we do, in whoever we meet, in wherever we are, because that's it. When you love, you get happiness.
Wow. And you know what? One of the touch experts in the world that I was talking to, she was saying that people are feeling so touch deprived. Normally, we would offer hugs and all that. So she came up with the idea of virtual hugs. So here is a virtual hug for you, my friend. And yes, and then we embrace ourselves and feel the
Thank you
touch.
so much, Shankar. Thank you so much, Shankar.
Thank you
It was
again.
wonderful talking to you.
And to all the people who are listening, we will find a way to convey Manjeet's contact information. If you ever want to stay in touch with him, if you have any questions for him, if you want to get married on Twitter. So we could probably connect with Monica also, right? And just the
Anytime. All
generosity. Yeah, please go ahead.
anyone who is listening, anyone who is watching, uh, love is the message, love is the answer, love is the solution. And as Shankar said, if anyone wants to be in touch with, have any questions, have any feedback, in any way I can learn from you, please do share. Always welcome. Thanks to Shankar. Thank you, Shankar.
Thanks again, and I'm so grateful that we met. That,
Me
among
too.
other things, Awaken Circle and WhatsApp have brought us close together. And to all the people who are listening, it's a joy to be in this circle, to go beyond the challenges and to find. In fact, one of the things I learned from you, Manjeet, was no matter what the question, love is the answer. So, yeah, it kind of segues into it really nicely, also. So, again, thank you very much.
I
And
I
please stay.
I
Yeah.
also heard it. I also heard it somewhere, and I'm just trying to practice it because I felt myself that a lot of times we hear a lot of things, but unless we practice, we don't see the magic.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm just trying that to practice whatever I'm hearing, because in this information age, you are bombarded with lot of things, and
yeah, yeah.
we can filter out the good things from the bad. That we are very adept at. We filter out that, but once the good things have come to us, can we retain it? Can we practice it? Can we implement it? There is where the bottleneck is. There is where I find my bottleneck. And I said, let me try to practice whatever I'm hearing. And WhatsApp, my group, our group, that is also part of that practice.
It
That
is.
community is by is that community we are building on practice of good things rather than just sharing of good things. So that's how I'm trying my best to practice the good things that we hear, and that's how this journey is. I mean, that's how the journey is going to unfold in the future also. That let us practice love, let us practice good things, let us practice whatever we hear from so many great people, we learn from or from so many people, but it is incomplete without we practice it.
Yes,
So
indeed.
that is my endeavor.
Thank you again, and please stay in touch, everybody, and we will help. We'll make sure you know how to find us. Okay, along with this video. Have a
Thank you
great,
so
great.
much, Shankar.
Thank you.